Thanks for bringing it in, though. Thank you.
Yo, 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 yo.
There you go.
I'm back. Follow me, follow me, follow me, follow me, follow me.
I can't even
How
see
you
you.
doing? Good.
No, not this way, this way.
It's an aquatic etching by Moreau, Joe Moreau. Okay, it looks really cool. Definitely. I really like Moreau. He's one of my favorite artists. It's simple, and yet your subconscious still thinks, what could this be? You know, this could be a kite, this could be a road, this could be anything, you know? Like, it really gets you thinking, what could this be? $10,000. I got the Moreau at an auction about 14 years ago. I want to sell the Moreau because I'm traveling now with my wife.
Oh, give me a sec.
So it's either sell it or find a permanent home for it until we settle down. I'm selling the Moreau for $12,000. I'll be willing to go as low as $10,000.
Alright, my shit Gucci, we out. Oh, we right here. Alright, so I'm gonna show you this place right here.
It is pretty cool.
What I want you to do when you start making some bag, oh, it's hot, it's heavy right now, you feel me? Niggas be shooting in here. You feel me? Roll with me real quick.
Okay, yeah, definitely is in typical Moreau fashion. I mean, he was a pretty interesting
Got a gun?
artist. He was from Catalonia, Spain, traveled around.
Yo, you got a gun?
Paris in the 1920s.
You got a gun? Alright, copy. Hold on. Hold on. Yeah, we Gucci. Yeah, we Gucci. Yeah, we Gucci. Alright, copy. We in here.
Okay.
Come down here. Stay on 10 toes, niggas be shooting. Hold on.
There's definitely a big market for Moreau's
Hold on.
In 2012, Sotheby's said
Yo.
masterpiece, the Schwab Blue.
Alright, we Gucci. Alright, copy. You feel me? Come right here. Yo, come right here.
So how much do you want to get for it?
Press E, yeah, you gonna stack up, you feel me? Get your little chemicals up, you know what I'm saying? Alright, you feel me? Put my little mans on, you know what I'm saying? When you do that, when you done, and you got enough, here's what you gonna do. You gonna come over here.
Even though his artwork is worth a lot of money, he's one of the most faked artists
When you're done doing this, you've got enough to
Go over this to the green right here, yeah. You gotta always process all your drugs. You always process your shit, you feel me? Then you can start selling it after that, you heard? You gotta make your bread first. I'm gonna teach you how to sell, you heard? Oh, you gonna give him a gun?
Come over here, bro.
Hold on. Yo, chill.
Here, come right here.
My boys is holding it down with the grips. Yo, let me get a gun. Yeah, you got a grip. Hit tab.
And drag it into your hotbar and whatever bar you set it to, you can get
one of the most important artists of the
I'm done with this shit though.
I mean, he lived to be 90, and he lived through just about every major artistic movement of the 20th century. And that experience shows in
Morphine,
art.
I got
He did
coke,
everything from abstraction to expressionism to surrealism. So, absolutely an amazing artist. Joe Moreau is really one of the 20th century masters. He's right up there with Picasso and Matisse. He was a master of all media,
Yo.
engravings to aqua tints to stone.
Black Flag EBS?
I am familiar with this image. I've actually seen
You
this.
EBS?
The title is called
Oh, my nigga.
You can see that this is a big image.
What happened, bro? What been for me? Talk to me. What been going on?
Niggas is chilling, teaching my little bro right here, you feel me? How to make his little money, you know what I'm saying? Get a nigga a pole. You know what I'm saying?
And it's probably one of the
Well, facts got folks right. This nigga, what up, bro? What's your name?
It's my little son. For me, I'm Mitch though.
What up, gang?
Let me make it Mitch. My son right here just flowing. Yo! Yo, I'm out of here though, gang.
And also, the signature is not quite
Where?
as flowy as I would normally see from a Moreau signature.
You gonna be safe in the city?
You're the boss.
Yo, you gonna be good in the city?
Alright, let me take a closer look here.
Alright, making sure my little bros is good in the city, you heard?
Yeah, I think what we have here is a
For me?
print. I do
Alright,
see
for me, check in a little bit, you heard? You got my number.
press the copper plate into the paper. You can
And when you rolling, you get your bag. I want a black flag on you, bro. You heard?
So this does appear to
And
be
my
an
little nigga's
original
right.
Moreau graphic. Okay, now this is where I run into some issues.
Out of
I have
here.
seen this work,
Yeah.
and every single one that I've
Harry
seen,
Lyra.
the signature usually appears higher up within the composition below the green, and the number typically appears below this orange sphere. The signature, I'm a little worried about. There's a lack of fluidity here. I mean, there's a lot of breaks.
I need to get my bag on myself.
I think what this might be was an
Go to the
original
block
graphic
there.
that somebody else signed and numbered. Which is a shame, because even an original graphic that's unsigned and unnumbered is going to be worth many thousands of dollars. It's kind of like autographing a Mickey Mail card or stuff, you know, it loses a lot of the value. Again, I can't say with 100% authenticity, but based on my experience with this particular work in Moreau, I just see too many red flags to advise Chum to purchase it. Sorry. All right, nice meeting you. All right, thank you, Chum. All right, have a good one, guys. I'm afraid I had to advise Chum to pass on the work. Even though I think the graphic itself is genuine, there's just too many question marks about the signature and the edition for me to advise him to purchase it.
So, even though he thinks it's a real graphic,
Yo.
I'm gonna have to pass. It's gonna be hard for me to sell. It still seems kind of fictitious.
I understand.
Thanks for bringing me in. It was a pleasure to look at.
Thank you. It's very disappointing to hear that it's an authentic Moreau, but someone forged Moreau's signature. Now I'll probably end up hanging up the Moreau wherever we end up staying and enjoying as much as I can.
How can I help you?
I have some original John Lennon artwork to sell.
Yo.
D. John Lennon?
Yo, gang.
D. John Lennon. Come with me.
You fucking with why you out here?
Chop.
There he is.
I told you, get off that thing.
Your shit died?
You need a pistol?
Yeah, let me get a pistol.
Some original signed, very rare John Lennon artwork.
You gotta fight.
Where did you get this?
What you mean?
I happened upon that at a small thrift shop. It was framed. You can see where it's tan. Somebody was really proud of that. It hung on the wall a long time.
That's what a trade sell on. You might want to get some gloves if you're gonna handle that.
Come on.
Good employees are in the fight. The artwork is original John Lennon 9-panel self-portrait. I want to sell it because I think it's worth about $20,000. I may go down a little bit, but not much. If I get the full amount of money, my birthday's tomorrow, it'll be a great birthday present.
It's definitely cool, man. John Lennon, he actually went to art school for a while. He did these doodles and things like that. And, you know, in the 70s, he realized people would pay him money for it. Then he started doing the really large ones, and he did full, like, portrait-size ones. And almost all the art I've ever seen from him is like this. It's his little doodles. And then he started doing limited editions, and most of what you see today, they're from his estate. They were printed after he passed away. There's something neat about it, though, because there's probably 20 artists in the world who just look at a picture and know that's them. So, you're looking to sell it?
I am.
And how much do you want for it?
$20,000.
20,000.
That's a no 9-panel self-portrait that he did, you know.
Homie, I'm big homie in this shit, you heard?
There's a lot of good stuff out there.
Jungle.
You have a little problem with this one, though. This is Kodak.
Make sure everybody's straight.
He passed away in 1980. This type of paper didn't exist in 1980.
Gotta get to the block on clean. What is?
It's cool, but it's 100% fake.
Glad I didn't pay much for it.
Gang
How much you
here.
pay for it?
$10.
Yo, gang.
The next 50 years might be 10 bucks a piece for every one of them. Maybe one of them will be real.
Niggas is wild and niggas not killing me.
I appreciate
Copy
it.
though.
Thank you.
No problem.
See you later, dude.
Thank you. I'm really disappointed to hear that my artwork by John Lennon is actually a John Lennon.
Oh, I got a pistol, bro.
Can you order mixing now from Domino's?
What? Where the fuck was he at?
You can get specialty chicken, savory pastas.
I'm getting shot on my block. Like, what the fuck?
French cakes, and yes, medium 2-topping pizzas as well.
Where my niggas at, bro?
You don't have to either.
Hey, how's it going?
Okay,
What do we got?
cool bazooka toy.
Cool. That's really cool until you walk into an airport with it, then you're going to jail.
I don't want to do that.
I mean, it looks very real for it being a toy. You know about what year it was?
I think it was about 50 years ago, like the early 60s, something like that.
Okay, yeah. It would make sense. I mean, dads would come home and tell their kids about what they used in the wars and stuff like that. And everybody wanted a bazooka. You know, I mean, it was like the ultimate weapon.
I know even when I saw it in the attic, I thought, oh, wow, that was cool. So,
see, the cool thing about a bazooka was that, you know, unlike a rocket-propelled grenade, this thing, when you shot something, it actually detonated on impact, which is what made them really valuable. A rocket-propelled grenade can hit a tank, bounce off it, ricochet 20 feet, and blow it that way. I mean, a single guy can take out a tank with one of these. That's pretty impressive.
Silly ass Elmo chains, bro. Goofy as hell.
Oh my god, he talking hot. Yeah, yo, pop out, man.
Pop out. I bet you gonna pop out.
I ain't gonna lie. You like whole time. Where the
take one of the missiles and...
Hey, we'll see all this thing.
Do you want to shoot it, or...?
Yeah, let me check it out. So you just pull the trigger now?
Yeah, it should be ready to go.
Alright. Hey, Pops.
What you doing, bro?
You heard me?
You said what?
You heard
Heard me?
What'd you say?
I said, you thugs, what's wrong with this world?
Who this in the babe?
It's Mitch, who it is?
GK?
Yeah, nigga. Come on, bro. Niggas is shooting the wrong niggas. I'm out of back polio.
Any idea of what you're looking to get out of it?
Yeah, I mean, this is
That
like
is.
50 years old, still all the original box, so I think it's really a unique.
Yeah.
If I left
They
with
killed
500,
Yeah, niggas is wildin'.
They built his whole ass. What?
Okay.
Get off my bike though,
So
I'm
what is
bugging.
it? Damn!
Give me an idea of what these are worth.
You might want to call a doctor for your dad, too. I know.
He's a tough guy. I'm sure he can take it. Let me give my buddy a call, man. I'll be back.
To have somebody get hit with it, I mean, your first thing is, who's going to sue me? I hope he's okay, and I hope this doesn't screw up my deal. Nothing to your eye, man.
A Ribco bazooka. Yeah, that's full of fast.
You're a little for you. At least we know it works. No, I'm not responsible for any of this, am I?
The equivalent to the Ribco bazooka nowadays would be kids playing on his PS3 or Xbox. Kids in the old days would have played outdoors in the neighborhood. When Ribco came out with this, they had a whole line of tools. It was all like jungle, guerrilla warfare, and they had everything from guns to knives, helmets, canteens, you name it, they made it. I mean, this was in the Vietnam era. Kids were seeing images of war on TV, and kids wanted to emulate that with toys. This would have been on everybody's Christmas list in 1962.
I don't even know they pulled up that
Everything
spot.
looks like it's here. You want to take a closer look just to see what we got?
Where they at?
I don't even know.
Yo, niggas is getting me tight.
All this here is cardboard. Well, this is cardboard, this is plastic. So you're outside playing with it.
Yeah, what you got going?
Bro, this nigga's wildin'.
Hey, call grandson, tell him to come get your ass right now.
Get out the V, bro. He's wildin'.
We got the original Target.
Oh, shit.
He popped
This
out back.
Make it a lot easier to sell, definitely.
So what do you think it's worth?
He had that resort of Fletcher.
Seeing that it's 100% complete. You got all the original paperwork. In this condition, maybe
What you fucking with, gang?
in the 4 to 450 range. Push it a little bit, but you could ask 500.
Yeah, he getting paper.
Yeah, he getting that bag.
Yo.
Some ice on that, man. Take care. I was really excited to see this
Watch out for
toy
your
and the
grannies,
condition it was in. It's a great piece, and I hope the guys buy it, because if they do, we should have no problem selling it.
I can realistically expect to sell it for $500.
1700,
Yeah,
they
they
be
on some
reckless,
weird
man.
shit.
They be
That
crashing
being
out.
said, I can't pay you $500 otherwise I make no money.
Yeah.
What's the
I'll
word? We
around
gotta go
200 bucks
slide.
for it.
No, I'm saying though,
Yeah, I'd really like to get closer to 500.
ain't no shit, bro. But not at least for me, nigga. Cause every time I see them niggas, I'm shooting at them.
$350, man. That's the most I'm
The
paying for
thing
it.
with 1700, you catch
Think
one
we
up
could
alone.
meet in the middle?
No, 350.
Niggas is soft.
375, come on. Everything's in
They
cash.
looking for
This guy over.
Niggas not looking for nobody.
Alright, you know what, you beat me. Alright, 375. There we go. Dad, you wanna write him up?
So what's the word? Where they out right now? We out. We out.
But still a little more than I wanted to pay for this death trap. And on top
Where
of
they
that,
at?
I'm sure my dad's never gonna shut up about the black guy.
We have a World War II German Enigma coding machine.
An Enigma. These are amazing. I've seen pictures of them. I've read about them. I've never actually seen one in person. I mean, this thing was responsible for the rise and the fall of the entire German war machine. Where in the world did you get this?
My father and I have an Enigma museum, and we treasure hunt.
This thing won't make me understand women, will it?
That's an Enigma.
During World War II, if a German commander wanted to send a secret message to his troops out in the field, this is what he used. And the Germans thought this machine was completely unbreakable.
You gonna get fucked up for that.
I'm surprised it even survived.
Not many did. There are 3 that I know of in the United States on display right now. One is at a science museum in Chicago, one is at the NSA's Crypto Museum in Washington, and one is at the International Spy Museum. At the end of the war, they would destroy these in the field rather than let them fall into the hands of the enemy. So more often than not, they are in horrendous condition.
Now, this one right here, I mean, you actually found it intact?
No, this machine has parts that have been replaced.
Okay, so these are extra rotors.
That's a reproduction box with 2 rotors.
Okay. This thing is so incredibly cool. Cracking the Enigma code was one of the top projects of World War II. It took years to do it, but in the end, it did save millions of lives. I really want this thing, but I've never had one in my shop. I need someone to look at it. I'm out of my league here. And how much do you want for it?
$149,300.
That's not a number.
You can't suck up to the beat.
My big problem is, I've seen them sell for $200,000. I've seen them sell for $30,000. You look at them, they all look the same. So I'm going to call in a friend who knows a little bit more than I do about these things, and see if he can figure it out.
All right.
Hey, what's up, man? Good to see you. What do you got? A mystery wrapped in a riddle?
Yes, an Enigma machine.
Coolest thing about these things is that they named it the Enigma. I had a dog, that's what I named him.
I do have a dog. He's an idiot. My name is Will Willis. I'm a former Army Ranger and Air Force pararescueman, and I specialize in military items. The hardest part of being in the military for me was getting a haircut every week. Nothing like having a baby slick head for 4 years.
There are a lot of eloquent words to describe great design, but they're just unnecessary, aren't they? The key figure Kia is shit that we all move. Kia, movement that inspires.
Makes you think that hair's kind of nice.
It's one of the coolest things that's ever been in the shop. It really is.
Yeah, it is a really cool thing, and it's really significant when you talk about being able to encrypt your messages to your generals and your soldiers. You know, having a machine like this that allows you to send those messages in secret is really a critical thing. And it was critical to us, the Allied forces, to be able to decipher these messages. And when we decrypted the machines, it shortened the war by 2 years.
Yeah, this is like uber nerd cool. It really is.
Germany's foreign policy was to conquer the world during World War II. So making them believe that their messages were encrypted in secret was critical towards winning that war in a shorter period of time. So which parts were missing when you found it?
The warning plate and the rotors.
Okay. Do we have matching serial numbers throughout?
We do not.
Okay, so how many rotors match the machine itself?
None.
Okay.
A serial number wasn't what drove the process. The rotor number was.
But the serial number drives price.
Okay. I know the price of these things are all over the place.
Right.
No,
The
no,
most
take that.
expensive
Yo, look down there, look down there.
were
Oh, turn
over
around, turn around.
$200,000.
Turn around.
We've got 3 matched rotors with serial numbers. They don't match the machine itself. The box doesn't have a serial number on it. We've got a recreated box, and considering what things have been selling for that are unrestored with matching serial numbers, I would price this at
Niggas is pussy. Niggas is not outside.
$70,000 all together.
Well,
I think my price is fair. Yeah, because he was asking $149,300.
Well, the most expensive one that ever sold was for $200,000. That one was in a movie. I think the more fair price is $70,000 for everything.
So they need to be on one
Well,
block.
thanks, man.
Yeah.
If they were real gangsters, they would.
I think that sellers get this perception that, like, I put in all this work, it's worth way more than what it really is.
I'm gonna go with Will on this one. I'd give you 50 grand for it. I can't do that.
Yeah.
I mean, what is your lowest number?
Yeah.
He just called us out. He just called us out.
We're way too far off. We just are. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Right. This really sucks because the likelihood of another one coming in my shop is not good. We are over 60 grand apart, and that's way too much ground to even try and cover. But you know what? I really did want that badly. What do you got?
What I got here is a very rare Babe Ruth Boston Red Sox team photo from his 1915
I didn't get no shots on
That is cool.
Niggas blammed.
The guy had a really interesting life. Did you know apparently at 7 years old he was so bad that his parents put him into reform school. Didn't want anything to do with him at 7 years old. Which I think is probably
Niggas
bad.
got guns. I'm lacking.
I bought the photo at an auction about 7 years ago. There are only about 5 or 6 in existence of this type 1 variation. I'm asking $12,500, but the least I'll take is probably $9,000.
That was sad for me,
know
man.
that in 1914,
I need a gun.
1915, to sign a legal document, it wasn't 18, it was 21.
Correct.
So the Red Sox more or less had to be his guardian, and I think the Yankees paid like $200,000 for him, which was just an enormous amount of money back then. I guess they thought he was that good.
Right.
The next thing you know, the biggest rock star, I don't think there's ever been anyone as big as Babe Ruth.
He transcends generations and generations.
And this was a publicity photo of some sort?
Correct. They put these in the newspapers. These are very rare. They tell me there's about 6 of this type 1 variation in existence, but the other one I've seen has pinholes in it.
Anything Babe Ruth from this time period is worth money, if it's real. Over the years, there's been a lot of fake Babe Ruth stuff that's tried to sneak onto my shelves. I have to be extremely careful here. And what are you looking to do? Are you looking to sell it?
I need to sell it. I'm asking a very reasonable $12,500.
Okay. I see you had it authenticated?
Yes, professional sports authenticator.
Okay. Why in the world did you open it up? The side is open, which means you can pull the photograph out and replace it with something else.
It came straight from the auction house in this sleeve. I said I don't want it in case because I might want to frame it.
Okay. You might have a friend look at it?
Have at it.
Okay, hang out. I'll be back in a few months.
You got it. You can call an expert, but I verify my information. I pretty much know all there is to know. So yeah, you can go ahead and call whoever you want.
And 1915 Boston Red Sox?
Yeah,
20-year-old Babe Ruth.
That's right.
That is really cool. I mean, who could have possibly imagined the history had in store for this guy? With baseball being in its infancy and Babe Ruth came into the sport, there was only very few media outlets covering it, so having anything related to Babe Ruth surviving 100 years later is an amazing find. So, I mean, one of the biggest urban legends in baseball is, how did Babe Ruth get the name The Babe? The story goes back to his days when he was in the minor leagues with the Baltimore Orioles. A guy by the name of Jack Dunn kind of took him under his wing since he was underage at the time and really took care of him. So his other teammates kind of busted his balls a little bit about it, he's Jackson, who's Babe and everything. And they kind of stuck after that.
Cool. Here's my concerns.
Okay.
It's open. And everything I see PSA is generally sealed up.
Sometimes. With PSA, you can have discretion as to whether you want it encapsulated or just stickered. In this case, it has just a sticker on it. And looking at this one, I mean, the sticker, the letter, the condition, everything's authentic on this.
Okay, that's cool. Okay, so the big question, what do you think it's worth?
I I can't emphasize how exceedingly rare it is to find an image of Babe Ruth, especially from his rookie year. So these are actually a really big deal. And honestly, man, in this kind of condition, on a good day, I'd say you can sell this for about 10 grand.
Okay.
Bro gotta wait. I gotta be my bag up. Need like 10
But we're
grand.
talking about a photograph from his rookie season, 100 years old. There are far less of those out there than there are autographed baseballs or other items. I don't think it would last long in any retail setting.
Well, verified.
Hey, what's your best price on it?
What about 12,000?
There's no way in the world that's going to happen because I don't think I can get that much out of it. You heard Jeremy. On a good day, I can sell it for 10,000. So, I'll give you 7 grand.
7 grand. Wow. You heard what the man said. They rarely come up. I think it'll sell fast. I really do. 11,000.
No. I was 7. I take all the risk. I have stuff all over the place in here that I thought could sell real quick.
Will you do 8,500?
No, I will do 7,000. That's what I can do.
I'll come down.
Elevate hydraulics rate and keep it smart with Smart Water Alkaline.
You haven't bumped up not even a nickel.
I will bump up a dime.
Yeah, I don't think I can let it go for that price. But thanks anyway.
All right, thanks for coming in.
All right, okay. I'm disappointed he didn't budge from 7,000. I thought he would at least come up $500. Well, looks like it's back to the auction houses.
Niggas is
And see them get a little money for it.
How you doing today? Good. I brought you in a very rare book.
You have a book. You know what? My boss is right here. Hold on for a second.
Hey, Rick, do you have a second to look at a book?
Sure.
Today was actually kind of weird. I was just looking at a book with Rick, and another one came in. It was just perfect timing.
The Adventures of Tom Sawyer.
Classic of American literature. This is actually the salesman sample for Tom Sawyer.
Okay, that is definitely cool.
I consider it the holy grail of Mark Twain collecting.
All right, there you go.
I really had great timing. The book expert was actually in the shop and ready to look at it. The book is sort of like the preview for a movie. These are excerpts from Tom Sawyer. I'm prepared for tough negotiation. I've been here a few times. They always have their eye on the profit. 1876, Tom Sawyer came out. You know, Mark Twain, he was an amazing marketer. This was a period where books were normally sold in bookshops, and he decided with his publisher that he would send salesmen around trying to get, sales of his up-and-coming book. When you open it up, you have different binding types, like you would offer a cloth binding at a certain price, or different types of leather bindings.
Well, and that's why this book is interesting, even though it's not the first edition. It's because it kind of shows the history of printing, how things would have been sold at this time. You get more of an eye into the things that you normally don't get to see, how things were done behind the scenes.
Yeah, exactly.
One of the reasons that Twain liked to sell by subscription is that he said, that way people have already committed to buying the book before they know that it's bad. He said that specifically about Tom Sawyer.
Yeah, well, he was very worried how Tom Sawyer was going to do. He wrote it as basically an adult book, but it kind of got branded as a boy's book, which sort of annoyed him.
Yeah, he wasn't known for writing books about children, and this was a big departure for him. It was a big risk. Tom Sawyer was pretty controversial at the time because he was not a good person. He lies, he cheats, he steals. So this was really hard because he wasn't a good example for kids.
Okay, so what do you want for it?
Well, I would like to get 10,000 out of it.
What do you think?
What do I think? Let's see. This is a really rare Mark Twain salesman's prospectus. Salesman's copies were thrown out after they had served their use. That being said, it's also quite beat up, and it's still not a first edition Tom Sawyer. With all those things in mind, the value that I would place on it retail is probably between $9,000 and $10,000.
Okay. I'm thinking 5 grand. I have to resell it. I have to make money.
I mean, I tried to find out, and the Library of Congress doesn't even have a copy of the salesman sample. It's that rare.
He's right that this is a more rare salesman sample of Twain than other works by him.
Yeah, honestly, 5 grand is just too little for me to go. I mean, I want you to make a profit. I honestly didn't think 10,000 was unreasonable. I'll tell you what. At the end of Tom Sawyer, he finds gold. You know how much gold he finds?
$5,000 worth.
$6,000. About $6,000 worth of gold. That's really the least I could take. And I think he gives you...
I'll go 55. It's a fair price. You know it's a fair price.
I actually think 6,000 is cheap.
It was a little awkward to sit there during the negotiation. You want to put in your 2 cents, but it's not really your business.
I really want to stick to 6.
I'll go $5,500.
6,000. You will have a line of Twain collectors at your door. I promise you.
Once you start getting over like $1,000, $2,000, the amount of people in this world that have the money to buy it and are willing to buy it dramatically falls off a cliff.
It's honestly hard to give this one up for that. It's a very special book. How about, like, you know, Tom Sawyer, he swears on a blood oath. I'll do a blood oath at $5,500.
$5,500. It's a deal. I'll meet you right over there and I'll have someone write you up.
$5,500 was honestly low. I think he's going to make a profit. On the flip side, I think Mark Twain would be smiling to know that I got $5,500 for a book that was likely going to be thrown out in the 1800s.
Rick, what's going on?
Davey, what's up?
I need some money.
Okay.
Got a family heirloom, so check that out. It's a kunzite.
A kunzite?
Kunzite.
You sure it's just not a fancy piece of glass?
It's been in my family for generations and generations. That's all I know.
You need to stop going
They
fast,
only
bro.
discovered the stone like right around 1900, so it hasn't been in for generations and generations.
A generation? I come to see the guys at the pawn shop.